Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Britt is known to fans for his warm smile, natural charm, and the heartfelt way he brings characters to life. But what many people don't know is just how much determination it took for him to step onto the set of his newest Hallmark project. Only days before filming began, BJ was involved in a serious car accident, one that left him shaken, injured, and in no condition to begin production. Yet instead of stepping back or requesting time off, he made a decision that surprised producers, co-stars, and even the crew. He insisted on continuing. He insisted on showing up. And he insisted on delivering the performance he had promised, no matter how much pain he was in. The story of what happened behind the scenes has now become just as inspiring as the movie itself. According to people close to the production, BJ's accident wasn't minor. It wasn't something you walk away from without consequences. He was left with lingering soreness, bruises, headaches, and stiffness that made even simple movements uncomfortable. Doctors encouraged him to rest. Friends told him to take time to recover, and his representatives offered to speak with Hallmark about adjusting the schedule. Everything was lined up to give him space to heal. But BJ couldn't bring himself to slow down. He had been preparing for this role for months, and he didn't want the cast and crew to be disrupted because of the crash. In his mind, the best way to move forward was to keep going, even if every step reminded him of the accident. Insiders say that when BJ arrived on set for the first day of filming, he didn't ask for sympathy. He didn't mention adjusting the scenes or rewriting dialogues to lighten his workload. Instead, he took a slow, careful breath, squared his shoulders, and walked straight into rehearsals. The crew noticed the stiffness in his movements and the slight wince he tried to hide, but he brushed aside every attempt at accommodating him. He kept saying that he was fine and that production needed to continue as planned. But the truth was different. The pain was real. Every scene required physical movement, every emotional take that forced him to stay standing for long stretches, and every long filming day tested his endurance. And yet, he pushed through each moment with professionalism and heart. His co-stars later shared that watching him work through discomfort without ever losing his upbeat attitude was both humbling and motivating. They said his dedication set the tone for the entire production. If BJ could give 100% while dealing with that much pain, everyone else felt inspired to match his energy. One crew member shared that there were moments when the cameras weren't rolling where BJ quietly stepped aside to stretch or take deep breaths, trying to work through the soreness in his muscles. He never complained, never used his injury as an excuse, and never let the strain show in the finished scenes. If anything, his performance became even more grounded and heartfelt. There was a natural vulnerability in his delivery that couldn't be faked. It came from someone who was fighting through something real. Someone who understood resilience in a way that mirrored the themes of many Hallmark stories. What made his commitment even more striking was the emotional weight of the project. This wasn't just another movie to him. He had signed on because he truly connected with the message, one about healing, love, and personal strength. Ironically, he found himself living that message in real life while filming. Instead of letting the accident overshadow the project, he used it as motivation. He reminded himself that many people watching the movie would be facing their own challenges, and he wanted his work to reflect authenticity. He believed the best way to honor the story was to show up fully, even when it hurt. Producers were prepared to pause filming if needed. They knew the situation wasn't easy, and they wanted to make sure he wasn't risking long-term harm. But each time they checked in, BJ insisted he could handle it. He reassured them again and again that quitting or delaying wasn't an option he was willing to take. His determination soon became one of the defining memories of the set. It wasn't about pushing himself recklessly. It was about honoring his commitment, respecting the team around him, and proving to himself that he could rise above a sudden setback. As filming continued, something almost magical happened. The cast and crew pulled around him with quiet support. They kept the atmosphere light, offered small adjustments without making a big deal out of it, and made sure he had what he needed to stay comfortable. It wasn't a dramatic or loud show of encouragement. It was subtle, small gestures, shared smiles, and a collective understanding that they were all working alongside someone who was giving everything he had. Even with the pain, BJ managed to bring warmth and sincerity to every scene. His comedic timing remained sharp, his emotional delivery remained honest, and his natural on-screen presence never dimmed. By the time the final week of filming arrived, everyone on set knew they had witnessed something extraordinary. They weren't just watching an actor perform. They were watching a person overcome something difficult in silence. He took time afterward to focus on healing properly. But even during his recovery, he continued speaking with gratitude about the project, about the people he worked with, and about how meaningful the experience had become. He knew he had pushed himself, and he knew it hadn't been easy, but he also knew he had grown from the challenge. He proved to himself that strength isn't just about physical ability. It's about the willingness to keep moving forward even when obstacles appear out of nowhere. Fans who follow BJ Britt may see the finished movie and admire his performance without knowing what he went through to make it happen. They may feel the emotion in his scenes, sense the heart behind his character, or notice the authenticity in his interactions. What they may not realize is that part of that authenticity came from a deeply human place. Every smile, every tender moment, and every scene filled with warmth was influenced by someone who was fighting through his own pain off the screen. BJ's determination has become a quiet but powerful example of resilience in the entertainment industry. In a world where delays and cancellations are common, he showed that commitment still matters. He showed that passion for storytelling can overcome setbacks. And he showed that even in moments of fear and discomfort, choosing to keep going can lead to something beautiful. His upcoming Hallmark movie now carries an added layer of meaning, not because the story changed, but because the person behind the performance poured more into it than anyone expected. BJ Britt didn't just act in this film, he lived it. He brought real courage, real perseverance, and real heart onto the screen. And audiences who watch the finished movie will feel the sincerity behind every moment, even if they never know the full story of what he endured. In the end, BJ's decision to continue filming wasn't about proving anything to the industry. It wasn't about impressing fans or pushing himself for the sake of pride. It was about honoring a promise, embracing a role he believed in, and refusing to let an unexpected, painful crash keep him from fulfilling his purpose. His journey is a reminder that sometimes the most inspiring stories happen behind the camera, in the quiet moments where someone chooses strength when they could have chosen rest. And as viewers look forward to seeing BJ Britt in his new Hallmark movie, they'll be watching a performance shaped not only by talent and professionalism, but by the kind of resilience that turns challenges into powerful, unforgettable moments on screen. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.